Okay folks, you want to make a rock the easiest possible way you can. All you got to do is get some dirt. You can also use rubble, trash, dirt, piles of brush. It just has to be holding up hard enough and firm enough to hold up the concrete. So we're going to just do a dirt rock, and that's just basically making a pile of dirt and turning it into a concrete faux rock. Super easy, don't need any tools, really hardly at all. It's very basic. So let's get some dirt. Good amount of X, a little bit more. Here's more wet. And kind of stir it around because we don't want super light sandy dirt. We want it to be a little bit compactable. I'm going to leave that there because I already got a little bit of a pile over here. So pull my pants up. And then we'll move it on over here to our little rock zone. And there you go. All right, we got some water coming out of here. You want to get one of those little attachments that goes on the hood, on the hose, that has a little valve on it. So you can turn it off, makes it a lot easier, and you can also put nozzles on it and change it and use it for different things like a power washer. So we're gonna get some water in here, and then we're gonna stir it around a little bit. So make sure you get hoses with the tip valve regulator on them. If you have dirt that's super dry, gotta get a good amount of water. If you have dirt that's more organic material and hard to pack, then you might want to add in some sand to it or something to make it so it's a little easier to pack. Doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. And this is, we out here in Southern California, up in the foothills east of San Diego, and a lot of decomposed granites going on that we have here at our house, or at my house here in Alpine Sky Studio, is what I'm calling it. And so we have very dry material, kind of. So we're gonna just stir it around. It just has to be able to kind of hold itself together a little bit. If it's a lower angle, because it's so hard to compact, then the rock will be more flat. But if you can get it more compactable, and that's by getting it more wet, or it's after a rain and you've already got great compactable, soil. That is awesome. It's absolutely beautiful out here at the moment here at the house in San Diego. It's June. We have the Faux Rock Spring Training coming up next weekend, and that's gonna be so cool. I've been working for weeks and even months trying to get ready for that, getting all kinds of cool stuff put together. All right, we're doing pretty good. We got a good amount of compactability, it looks like to me. Getting it mixed in, just kind of move it down and around. So it's more clumpy, able to be packed. This stuff will do the same thing, kind of get it stirred around a little. And again, we're just making a rock, and rocks, the idea is that rocks sort of have their bulk, or sometimes a lot of their mass below the dirt level, or grade as they would call it. And thus being able to just visualize the top of it, as it were, that's sticking out. It doesn't have a lot of huge undercuts, and so it's basically just coming up like this. The angle of repose, which is sort of the pitch, like if the hill's going downhill this way, the steeper it is, the harder it is to get concrete to stick. And physics wise also, it's a more stable thing. Like you look at earthen dams, and they have a very gentle pitch, as it were, depending on the makeup of the material. When you get concrete going, you can go even steeper, obviously, but the angle of repose means if you keep it at the tolerable level that concrete is able to be compacted and stacked up, then you're able to really make your life a lot easier. And structurally, if it's just sitting on the ground, it just has to hold itself up. That's all it's aiming to do. So you're not having to worry about things too much. It just has to hold itself. You start getting into building structures and water features like I've been doing for years, that's a little different of a matter. You have to follow, of course, the design build plans from architects and engineers, get permits, follow all that appropriate stuff. But pretty quick you can kind of learn what the basic common sense aspects are of building these structures out of concrete and rebar and what have you. All right, so it's only been a number of minutes. I'm getting a nice little amount of exercise going on here, so just about ready to give it another squirt of water, and then we are going to dump this out and pack it up to that. But this is just taking dirt, making a mound rock. That's the name of it. And again, I'm having to add water because the dirt is dried out. I haven't had any rain for a month and a half or so. So it's a little powdery. So just giving it its last little stir. And I think you'll be pretty amazed at how steep we'll be able to pack this stuff. It's almost like an adobe. And as you know, they built structures in adobe here in the Southwest for millennia, I'm pretty sure, for a long, long time. So, all right, so it's looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this out, and then we will pack it up, and I'll show you a little bit about that. All right, let me dump it. All right, here we go. All right, let's see if there's anything stuck in here. Not bad. A little bit. Okay. I'm going to use the square shovel to do some packing. And this should go quite quickly, actually. I'll put that there so I can get my water. I have a neuropathy in my feet, so tennis shoes is about the best thing for me to wear. I have some work boots when I'm doing shotcrete and heavy duty stuff, but just basic, a little more comfortable. All right. Okay. Able to get it up there a little bit. I'll make the rock go into this hill a little bit because I want to kind of make it a chair to be able to sit on in this wonderful patio, well, sort of a terrace that I made with, I rented a excavator, and some of you've seen my other videos here at the house. I've got the National Forest, Cleveland National Forest is all around us, and it's comprised of very flammable stuff. So it's really important to try to keep this area cleared out, cut back. I don't want to turn it into a barren moonscape, but that's probably a safer thing to do. At the bottom of your rocks, you can dig it out because you want to get a little bit below grade so that when the soil does move out, and it does in time, then you will have no undercuts. So I'm just doing a little bit to get that undercut some more. All right, we got a bit of a rock going on here. Let's see, we'll put a little more on that side. Having been a sand sculptor for a very long time, I spent many days doing what I'm doing right now. Packing up sand to mimic rocks. And rocks went pretty fast. So you can kind of see, cutting the back edge out a little. I'm going to have this as a demonstration rock for the class. And the more water that's in here to make it more packable, if you will, the steeper the walls of your mound rock, your fake rock, mound rock, I'd say dirt mound, fake rock. See, look at that, it already looks like kind of a rock. These things are very pokey. And give it a little bit more water. And it'll help me to make some more shapes in there a little bit. Give myself some material to work with that's compactable. And now I'll go get I'm gonna go get some trowels and play with it with my hands, and I'll show that process right now. Okay, we got a nice little dirt pile here. Very simple. You saw we just mixed up some of this clayish, sandy loam dirt sand that we have out here. It's just right out of my ground out here in East County, San Diego. Got some basic trowels. I always like the pool trowels that are round, if I can talk. This one right here used to be a lot longer, and so use wears them out. So we have our rock here. And since I was a sand sculptor, I do have a nice strong background and, you know, just making stuff. I also have these wonderful foam pads for my very sensitive skin. Getting a little old here, I guess. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I like having angles when you're doing your rocks. Everything you carve is practice for when you're doing concrete, everything. And that's why some of the videos I have that show practicing making rocks using sand, absolutely a good way to go. So I'm trimming it back. Again, it's not going to be perfect because we're going to be giving it a texture coat afterwards. But these things give them a nice, you can just pack it around again because it's got a nice packability to it. I'm going to make this a little butt comfortable here because I do want it to be usable as a bench or chair. So now I'm looking at the composition, and my sketching course talks a lot about that, and then my 5 keys to effective fake rock construction, those also address the issue of ideal composition, rock groupings. You know, what is our strategy when we're making our rock stuff? And you have to fight the human tendency to bring symmetry to things. It's just part of sort of the way we are. We always kind of want to chew things up, as it were. And so you have to kind of fight that a little bit. So the steeper sides, when you see the concrete work, you'll notice you just have to make the mud not so not too wet, or if you'll pardon the word, snotty. It's pretty snotty. So there we go. I'm looking for asymmetry. I can sort of keep our crack. And again, these smaller details, they'll disappear real fast when you're doing your mud. So it's good to just beware of that. And so you can put a lot of time into these details, but you got concrete coming. And so that's something to consider. All right, I'm liking another little detail. And as we do the concrete work, you'll see that's stuff you want to keep track of. Again, we're undercutting it down here. If you need to, even after your first concrete scratch coat that you're doing, you can come back and dig this below grade notch, if you want to call it that. Kind of like I want to dig that out a little bit more. These are some of the tools I got for the students. Your basic margin trowel. I learned just enough for me to be able to get something done. I don't go into all the details and study of the things that make up concrete. There's others that have that information, and of course Mr. Google and Mr. Brave, or whoever your search engine is, will give you endless amounts of details on all that the world has to give you, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, all right, I don't know if you can see it, but we got ourselves a nice little dirt rock, and now I'm going to go mix up. I think I'll just see what I can do with, 3 bags of concrete. And I think I can wheel them down here without crashing. And so there's kind of a fake rock. You know what it'd take me 10 minutes to sort of push it around. On top of this, we're going to add concrete, and you don't need a whole bunch. Again, it's just got to stay where it's at. It's not hanging out anywhere. When you have those situations, there are approaches that you can take, which I'll be talking to the students about this weekend. But in any case, so let me go mix up some concrete, and we'll throw it on here and see if we can finish up this demo here today. All right.